I think it's the best bullpen in the American League. Might be the best bullpen in baseball now. I mean, that's that significant. For more on this breaking news, let's bring in Brian McTaggart. He covers the Astros on MLB.com. Brian, how do you see this move? Were you surprised in any way to hear that the Astros landed Josh Hader?
Yeah, a little bit surprised because I thought they might add to the bullpen, maybe a guy who could pitch the 6th or 7th inning, but adding the top closer on the market when you already have a pretty good closer, an elite closer in Ryan Pressly, just takes their bullpen to another level. And the fact that they're paying him so much money, I think, is clear. He's going to be the closer for the Astros next year. You can move Pressly now, a guy who's got more saves without a blown save than any pitcher in the postseason in history. You can move him to the 8th inning. And you have a dominant setup man, like you said, in Brian Abreu. I mean, this just changes the tone of their whole offseason. The Astros hadn't done a whole lot, especially in the pitching market, but they needed bullpen help. I mean, they lost just earlier this week Kendall Graveman for the year, coming off shoulder surgery. They had 3 free agents who accounted for a third of their bullpen innings last year, including, Phil Maton and Hector Neris, who was so good, Ryan Stanek. So they were really thin in the bullpen, but adding just this one guy to the back end, I think, just changes the dynamics of their whole relief corps.
Roles in a bullpen can be a very sensitive thing. You know Ryan Pressly well. You've been covering the Astros, I think, since 2004, well before he got there. Great guy, great competitor, but he's also been, like you said, a terrific closer in his own right. Do you think he'll be cool with moving to the setup role?
I think he will, because number one, he's a professional. I think he's a good teammate, and he wants to win. And adding Josh Hader is going to give you your best chance to win. Make no mistake, Ryan Pressly is going to want the ball at the end of the game. I mean, he's a closer. That's what he wants to do. I'm sure he would rather still be the closer. But if you want to win a World Series, and they have a team that is built to win the World Series, they won it just 2 seasons ago. Adding Josh Hader gets them closer to that point. And I think Pressly is going to be called upon and be happy to do whatever the Astros want him to do. And I mean, he's going to have to get some big outs along the way, no matter if he's pitching the 8th or 9th inning. But we might get a chance to talk to Ryan tomorrow. The Astros are having their fan fest at Minute Maid. A lot of players are going to be there. So that's going to be a big buzz now, talking about the addition of Josh Hader. And I'm sure everyone is going to want to hear what Ryan Pressly has to say. But he's a pro, and I think he's going to take the ball whenever Joe Espada wants to give it to him.
This is a team that I've been watching closely because I just don't know how they're going to conduct business. They've got some expiring contracts, some older players now. It feels like it's the end of a great championship run. And then they do this, which is a win-now move, to spend almost $100 million on a closer. So does it stop here? Do you think the Astros are now going to go all in and make other significant moves before opening day?
I don't think they'll make a whole lot of other significant moves at this point. I mean, they're pretty set. I mean, they added Victor Caratini to be the backup catcher to Yainer Diaz, who could be a blossoming star. If you look around, offensively, the infield's set, the outfield is pretty set. Yeah, I mean, they could add another outfielder. Maybe they add another bullpen arm just to help the depth. But this is a team that should contend with the Rangers in the division and in the American League once again. And you're right, this could be like the last big window opening for the Astros, because Bregman's a free agent after this year. Tucker free agency's coming up. Framber Valdez is a free agent after this year. But it was just, I think earlier this year or last year, Astros owner Jim Crane said, as long as he's the owner, the window is always open. And I think Crane is always going to put a team on the field that is built to contend. And he doesn't hand out big contracts like this very often. So this was a real signal that he really thinks the Astros could win the World Series this year. And I think getting Josh Hader probably puts them in a group of 2 or 3 teams that have to be considered the favorites now.
Major breaking news. Hader to the Astros. Brian McTaggart, great info. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Greg.